Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Manny Moonraker, and we are live today because, I figure what else could I do? What can I do different besides the regular old UFO buster craziness? So, decided to go live today, Sunday, May 7th. So, let's cue the intro. I tell you what, I do not get sick of that intro. Some of you are probably tired of it. I just love it. It is just amazing. So you probably read the title of this episode, besides the fact that it says that it is a live episode. And by the way, incidentally, let me let you know now that when UFO Buster Radio is live, you can participate by doing one of two things. Well, one of three things, actually. You can either get on Spreaker.com or download the Spreaker app. In the Spreaker app, you can actually chat with us, or should I say myself, because there is no us right now. You can chat with me through the chat box. So it's kind of like a messenger thing. It's built in, type away. I will definitely acknowledge you somewhere along the way. But if you have a question or you want to bring something up and you're too shy, way too shy, to just call in, put it in the chat box, because I will read it and I will pose whatever it is to the listening audience. In addition to the chat box on the Spreaker app or Spreaker.com, you can also call in. The number is 972 290-1329. And let me just repeat that again. 972-290-1329. You want to reach in and have a chat, have a question, you want to talk about your perspective on what the title of this episode is, then feel free to call in. Last but not least, it is Skype. So, if you want to call me through Skype, you can do so as well. Now, you can try to search by the ID title, UFO Buster Radio. However, if you want to add the actual ID name, it is bosscrawler. Don't ask any questions, just go with it. So I decided to do this show live. So before I even get started, for those of you who follow me on Facebook through the UFO Buster Radio page, the Manny Moonraker page, or my secret identity, I posted today that I went to go out to the theater this morning and I decided to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And I want to thank Renee Cruz. Renee listens to the show through YouTube. That's right, I'm on YouTube. There is no video, so don't get your hopes up. Yes, I was supposed to get this done already. But thanks to Microsoft and the wacky geeks over there, my computer could barely handle staying on. So, by the way, if the show ends all of a sudden, blame Microsoft and the geeks over there who decided to ruin Windows 10. It's happened already about 6 times this week. My computer would just shut down. Doesn't even give a warning. It just shuts off. But as I was saying, so yeah, we do have UFO Buster Radio on YouTube. Eventually, and let me tell you, ever since I had, I've been talking about this. Ever since I've been talking about getting on YouTube, I've had all these problems show up. And listen, I tried to do it. I went out and I got myself a a webcam, the professional series from Microsoft, Windows 10 will not allow the camera to be installed. I kid you not. I should have known this was the case when the webcam that my computer has already isn't working. But again, Microsoft, Windows, I love you, man. Thanks. It's been great. Anyway, back to Renee Cruz. I just want to say thank you to Renee Cruz that reminded me that this film was out there. And you were right. It's an awesome film. It was fantastic, exciting. I love it. My only issue with the film isn't really the film. I'm a Marvel guy, just in case you don't know. But they actually showed a preview for Wonder Woman. I mean, what is that? What are you doing? Cinemark, don't toy with my emotions. Keep it Marvel, fool. Don't get these things mixed up. They're not the same. Not even close. Anyway, this is UFO Buster Radio. And in case you don't know, this is Manny Moonraker. So I'm going to sit on here for another 25 minutes, hoping that someone gets the idea to call in and chat with me live. Though there are no guarantees because in the past, hardly anybody gets on when it's live. Mainly because people like listening to the show through their mobile apps later on in the week. And I appreciate every single listen. You have no idea how much I do because I know you guys are listening. However, the reason why I'm doing this show live today is because I want to know from you guys, eventually, even if you're not on here now live, let me know during the week, what would you do to solve the UFO mystery? Folks, this is a mystery. It's not a mystery that happened yesterday, the day before, or even last year. It wasn't a mystery that started with a cataclysmic event. This mystery has been going on for eons. As long as human existence has been around, and this is why I hate live, because you just heard that train wreck I just gave. As long as humans have been around, we've pondered what the heck is in the skies, right? And even today, 2017, we're still doing it. We've got portable computers. We're walking around with all kind of equipment on us. I mean, come on, really. All we need to do at this point is just get implants. But still, we have no idea what the heck is flying over our heads. And that's the part that really gets me, to be honest. Because, like some of you, I already believe that there's no way that we are the only people, the only race in the universe. I find that to be completely and totally impossible that that's the case. But in that same vein, I ask myself every other day, why is it that so many people could care less about what's flying overhead? Think about it. If you thought for 1 second that there was a significant chance that Kim Jong-un, I hope I said that right, that old Kimmy would be able to send an ICBM over your head, would you even be looking? I have a strange feeling that for the most of us, we would not. We really don't care what's in the sky. If Putin, because he does have the ability to put that rocket over our heads, but even if he threatened to do it, I really think that fear of Putin putting an ICBM over your home would only last about a week or so. After that, it's back to business. Maybe that's why the UFO mystery has not been solved. I said this back in the early episodes that a lot of times we get caught up in life's daily chores. But there are times, even myself, where UFOs, aliens, ufology, paranormal, whatever the hell it is, it really doesn't matter, right? We have babies, we have breakups, we have new relationships, we got buses that break down, our cars break down, we have bosses that we work for that are a-holes. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. But it's almost like we're destined never to find out what the truth is. There's always a distraction. And like I said, I get distracted myself. But what do we do with this? There's got to be a place, like a meeting point where we decide, let me just take out some time to figure out what the heck this ufology thing is really about. Because you got people like MUFON, and I sound like a broken record. You know, for the longest time, we really thought MUFON, for those that followed ufology and UFO sightings and reports, we really thought MUFON had it in our best interest to get the job done. I mean, they were training people, regular Joes like you and I, they were training them to go out and investigate stuff. They had a full program put together. You know, pay a little money, you get trained, you get certified, you graduate. I don't know how the hell the process works, but they actually put one together. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that in itself, it's almost cool, right? They weren't just gonna go in there half-assed with their jeans hanging off their butts, chewing gum, with a cigar in their mouth, and an empty bottle of whiskey to find out why this person reported that there was a UFO in their backyard. They said, no, let's get this and let's put this together into a program. Sometime last year, when I first started really going into the MUFON website, and I started reporting some of the sightings that people were sending them, I started to notice that I could only see all of a sudden the last 20 sightings. Okay. They did a nice little revamp of their website. You know, they hooked it up, looks nice. As they would say out west, they pimped it. It was a nice looking website. But I couldn't figure out why is it that I could not get more than 20 hits on sightings. Well, it turns out, you know, MUFON kind of wised up and they said, hey, we really can't just go on donations because people are too busy in their lives to just donate. So we're going to charge membership, and if you want to get access to our database, you got to be a member. In and of itself, I don't think that's so bad because the fact is, it does cost a lot of money to have a database and to store things, especially years and years and years of data. So I can understand that there is now a membership fee. I got it. Perfect. But then when the symposium thing came out, right? Then you start smelling like something's wrong. You know, you get that whole rock thing going. You know, you smell what the rock is cooking. It doesn't sound good. It sounds Corey good, actually. It sounds Corey good, which in and of itself is not so good. Like I said before, listen, if you show up on my doorstep and you say, hey, I was just abducted by an alien, a gray, and they were listening to this guy that looked like Chewbacca, and one of them spoke like Mork from Mork. I mean, yeah, I'd look at you kind of funny. I would. But if you pulled out from your pocket a communicator, or you pulled out that little egg that Mork from Mork used to use, right? That little thing he would, whatever. I would tend to believe you, right? You had some evidence. You showed me something that was fantastic. You can't get a damn thing out of Corey Good other than him talking about all this stuff. This amazing story. So, in that vein, I have to say that I have to leave MUFON behind for now. So I won't be going to their website anymore. Really don't want anything to do with what they're promoting either. Which is, it's pretty sad because when you look at the lineup at the symposium of 2017, they've got some really good researchers. They've got a nice lineup, you know. But sad and unfortunately true, they are now about the money. So they're turning into a commercial enterprise, which, by the way, is listed as a nonprofit. Now, we all know that nonprofits are allowed to make money. They just aren't able to do it to the point where they profit, hence the name nonprofit. So what is it that's really happening with MUFON, right? Are they now becoming a commercial enterprise that's going to turn profits? Have they been spanked around by the likes of Tyler Glockner and Security Team 10 and whatever dough they're bringing in over there? Have they noticed that all of a sudden there is a nice amount of money to be made from organizing in ufology? Hey, I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you this much. I'm going to stick to Newfork. So you definitely are not going to hear this again from Robo-O.
Grab onto your probes. It is MUFON report time.
No, sir, Robo-O, you are going to retire that statement because I am done. Totally done with MUFON. Now, the best thing about NUFORC, the National UFO Reporting Center, is that you can get tons of data. So is that a way that you, the honest everyday Joe, are going to be able to connect the dots? Is it data? Is it possible that we can take some of these sightings and maybe import them into Google's map and figure out what's going on? What's going this way? What's going that way? Because we've got times, we've got dates, we've got cities and landmarks that we can use to figure it out. But is that the way to do it? Or is the other way to do it is by going the fantastical Greer way and using your conscious mind to reach out to 4.2 far. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm making fun of consciousness or the ability for some people to go 4.2 far just by meditating. That's not the idea here. I just don't know what to say. Really, I really don't. Because the truth is that as humans, I think we limit ourselves in many, many ways. But maybe we do have a portion of us that can actually reach 4.2 far the way Greer is saying, and we can reach them spiritually or mentally. You know, like we're X-Men or something. So I see we just got joined by Ronnie Dawson. What's up, Ronnie Dawson? So Ronnie's in the chat box right now. So Ronnie Dawson, you have to let us know what's your idea and how do you reach 4.2 far? How do we figure out this whole UFO thing? Even though we have people who are looking to profit from it and really are part of the disinformation, if you will, of the topic. Listen, we all need money. I get that. But UFOs, the ones that cannot be identified as man-made or a natural phenomena, those are the ones we're talking about on UFO Buster Radio. The ones that people see land with little gray people coming out. The ones that people say that there's reptilians hanging out in, you know, Greer's family. Those are the ones we're talking about. Those are the UFOs that we need to figure out what the heck is going on. Now, Ronnie Dawson says that we use 10% of our minds. So we have to figure out a way to unblock the rest of it. And there was a movie like that not too long ago. The name escapes me. You know, the one where the guy takes the pill. And I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, what happens if we do that? What happens if we unlock that part of us that can go 4.2 far and we can unlock these mysteries? But my question is to you guys, how would you figure it out? How can you get to the point where you have some answers? Because technology is there. We have plenty of technology. I mean, there's things in military uses which you can buy right now. And of course, money is a problem. That's why MUFON is selling out. But there are things, there's technology you can buy right now that you can use to try to solve this issue. To try to get some answers. So I'm going to let you think about that. Hopefully I haven't lost all of you, especially the ones that are going to download this later. But I want to talk about a story I just saw on Fox News. So on Fox News, there's a story about a light on May the 3rd that was shining over Paris, France. A bright light. In the words of Donald Trump, it was huge. And apparently it was seen by quite a few people. So then, apparently there was a quote-unquote researcher who said, hey, this is the same kind of light they reported a few weeks ago, maybe not a few weeks, a few years ago in China. Last I heard, China was a communist country and you really can't get nothing out of them. It's like squeezing a turnip, a communist turnip. So how we figured out that this UFO was over the country of China is a mystery in and of itself. But anyway, on with the story. So the article was on Fox News online. Reputable, right? I mean, you know, depending on what kind of political stance you have, you may not like Fox News. You might run over to CNN. But I did a search. Fox News is what showed up. Let's not get crazy. So there you go. The story is there, and I'm reading it about this whole China comparison to what's happening in France. And when I started reading it, I said, oh, look, ET is interested in the political climate of France. So they're there to find out who the heck is going to be their next president. And as I get through the passage, Fox News credits Tyler Glockner, Security Team 10, for their article. Okay, great. So again, a lot of us think that Tyler Glockner is a reason why things are so murky when it comes to UFOs, ufology, and all that good stuff. Incidentally, I hate saying ufology. We've got to find another term for it. But Tyler Glockner is everywhere. I mean, he used to be just in those little tabloid things where you saw all the crazy articles, right? The stuff that was really 4.2 far. And him and the rest of the people that really seem not to do any research in what they're reporting are making the rounds in media. And so now he's hit Fox News. My point in doing this is, if Tyler Glockner really is the one, or one of the ones, that is doing all this, bad reporting and giving the whole ufology research thing a bad name, he's going mainstream. What happens now? We the people need an answer to that. We need to be able to fight folks like this who really give this whole situation a really, really bad name, you know. When you have people like that that really don't research the stuff they're putting out there, they make us all look like kooks. They make us all ready for the ridicule. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is other than putting together someone or pushing someone forward that can battle this kind of craziness. So we'll see. Ronnie says that the problem is that we can't explain what's going on if we don't talk about it. And he has a point. Like I've said before, I've been around people who follow UFOs, who've had experiences, who, have all these things, all this information that they want to say, but even surrounded by their peers or fellow experiencers, they won't talk. They can't. That ridicule, that fear is just way too great for them to overcome. So they stay silent. They won't say a word. And you guys know, you've heard Ronnie Dawson. He's not afraid to say what his experience was. Hell, he even wrote a book about it. Maybe that's what we need. We need a guide to overcoming the ridicule, so that people can feel safe. But anyway, I just went on a tangent. My point for this episode was basically for saying that we need answers. And the answers cannot come from Stephen Greer. The answers can't come from Tyler Glockner. And it can't come from Corey Goode and the rest of his space military buddies. So come on, really. Let's get together. Let's do this. You're listening to a show named UFO Buster Radio for a reason. For the same reason that I listen to other podcasts. Now, they might not be as, as entertaining as I am, because I can be quite entertaining sometimes. Not always. I listen to myself too. But at least I don't talk to myself. But anyway, I do listen to other podcasts. I listen to some of the oldies but goodies, right? The guys that have been around forever. The guys with the 3-hour shows. I'm sorry, but I'd shoot myself in the head if I spoke for more than 45 minutes. So in about 15 minutes, you might hear a gunshot. But my point is this. Someone out there listening right now, you had an idea of how to do it. And no, you're not going to find proof coming from John Podesta. As a matter of fact, if you guys haven't noticed, he's gone. John Podesta has dropped out of the whole UFO picture. I haven't seen anything about him. What happened? The other guy is Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge became the researcher of the year thanks to what's those knuckleheads? UFO TV, UFO Open Minds. Those they're not open at all. Thanks to Open Minds, they made him the researcher of the year. What did he do besides ending up on some emails that they said the Russians brought to light? So all of a sudden, he's the researcher of the year. I don't know. I don't get it. Again, is this more disinformation? And Ronnie is right. You need to get the proof. You need to get something from 4.2 far and make it to where it's public. And force some answers. Now, Ronnie, the only thing I say is, I don't even know that anyone could even get that far. If this secret really is so deep within the dark government, I'd hate to say it, and maybe I've been watching too many movies, but I think that anyone that got a hold of real evidence, they're pretty much screwed. They won't live to see the light of day. I really think that that's what's going to happen. So do we wait? Do we wait for another, 10 years for the geeks at NASA? And hopefully they're not running in Windows 10 over there. Do we wait for the geeks of NASA to go out to some moon in our solar system and pick up a little water and put it under a microscope and see amoebas? Will people at that point be like, holy crud, there's life out there. There's got to be more. I don't know. I'm as perplexed as you are. I don't see why, in the name of Albert Einstein, do we have to wait for amoebas so that people can realize that the universe is too damn big for us hairy monkeys, or hairless monkeys, actually. Well, we do have hairless monkeys. Yeah. Hairless monkeys. For us hairless monkeys to be the only ones out there. So we'll see. Anyway, I said it was going to be a 30-minute show because there is a study from the podcast gurus that say that usually the average listening time for a podcast is 22 minutes. And some of you have probably already ended the show. And that's pretty sad. Anyway, if you want to support the show, be sure to like, share, and follow. We are on YouTube. You're not going to get video yet because Microsoft hates me. We're on Facebook. We have 2 pages, UFOBusterRadio.com and Manny Moonraker. On Instagram, under the name Manny Moonraker. No spaces, thank you. And as UFO Buster Radio on the tweets, the Twitter realm. And by the way, I do chat with Ronnie Dawson and a few other folks on Twitter quite a bit. Even that other podcast that they do all the weird stuff, the Secret Transmission podcast. Those guys. What's up, Toby? Anyway, I want to end this show with this. Oh, wait, before I end the show. In June, I am putting together a contest so that I can have one of you on here co-hosting every Sunday live. So that's coming in June. And y'all just get ready because I'll have this announcement ready in about 2 weeks. But one of you is going to be a co-host live every Sunday. We'll have the dates for you shortly. But anyway, I want to leave you with this, and this is the end of the episode 85, which really was a whole lot about nothing, just me rambling like I've lost my mind altogether. But I want to leave you with this. If you have an idea, whatever it may be, you might be an IT guru, but you don't work at Microsoft, you're not screwing things up. You might be an IT guru that loves working on databases. You might be someone that's psychic. Maybe you're a remote viewer, right? Maybe you're just really intelligent and you can see patterns in data and figures. Whatever it is that you can contribute, don't be afraid to put that foot forward and get into the conversation. Because the fact is, we need new perspectives. We need new blood. We need people that are ready to get out there and really research what's going on and have an impact to turn this madness around. So, I thank you for listening. Ronnie, thank you for jumping on. This is UFO Buster Radio. My name, as always, is Manny Moonraker. Sayonara, muchachos.